Hey everybody, it's Dr. Ogier here with a lecture on the genetics of blood types. For my own sanity and for the benefit of future students, I am going to break this lecture up into a few videos so that I can edit only a part of the slides later if an error is found or if y'all tank something on the exam and I realize I need to beef up one of the sections of this, I can do that more easily. So you'll find the video links in your slides. Before we get started, I just want to take a minute, feel free to pause this after I ask the question, to think about what do you already know about blood types? If somebody asked you to describe blood types, what would you say? If somebody asked for your blood type, what would you say? If somebody asked me what my blood type was, the first thing that would come to mind would be I'm type O. If somebody was like, well, that's not specific enough, I'd be like, okay, fine, I'm O positive because I have the Rh factor as well. Turns out there are also a lot of other blood typing systems because blood types just sort of refer to what types of antigens are found on our blood cells, and there are lots of different groups of antigens that are found on blood cells, but the AB antigens are the most commonly discussed, and the ABO system is sort of the classic blood type. For your edification, and because UT Austin nursing students are the smartest nursing students in the whole world, I'm gonna give you a little bit of information on the other types of blood systems. We're gonna reinforce key genetic concepts in doing so, and that's really gonna be our focus. Some objectives for this lecture: if I tell you what two parents are like in terms of their blood type, you should be able to predict the genotypes and phenotypes of offspring using our old friend, the Punnett square. So we'll dust that skill off if it's been a minute for you. We will also define and give examples of codominance. We will define and give an example of epistasis. And we will be able to describe who will make antibodies to certain antigens based off of what we know about their blood type. And we'll talk about who can donate blood to other people or receive blood from other people in the instance of a transfusion based off of our antigen antibody status. Before we jump into the content about how genetics affects blood type, I want to make sure we're all on the same page, just in case some of you had a teacher who maybe failed you and didn't cover antigens and antibodies. We're going to give the briefest of recaps, or maybe you did learn about it before, but it's been a minute since you thought about it. So let's take a journey down to antigen-antibody lane. So antigens are any substance that are capable of inducing immune responses in the body, specifically producing antibodies. They exist on cell surfaces. Here we can see a viral cell and a bacterial cell, not pictured a human cell, but those would have antigens on them as well. In our blood system, our red blood cells have a lot of antigens on them, and most of the blood groups that we talk about in science are red blood cell antigen groups. In this picture over here, you can see that antigens and antibodies fit together like a lock and key, or like pieces of a puzzle. So this one's sort of triangular, like a triangle facing outward, and its corresponding antibody has like an inward facing triangle slot, so that could fit in. This one has a little bit more complicated design that's sort of got a pedunculated stalk with a bigger part coming out the bottom, and then this has the corresponding piece there. So antigens and antibodies fit together, they're complementary in shape, and we find antibodies in our plasma as it relates to blood, and they're responsible for recognizing and attacking foreign molecules, helping to initiate the immune response by finding those antigens through their complementary puzzle piece-like shape configuration. Because our bodies are smart and we don't want to attack ourselves, we don't make any antibodies for molecules that are in our own bodies normally, and this is a good thing because we don't want to attack our own blood. We will talk about how this affects who we can get blood from that's not our own, because we don't want to attack that blood either. So stay tuned for that.